you've seen people who are going to, all right, this is it. All my Facebook friends, you better read this. If you don't respond back, it's it. You're off the list. And, I mean, Facebook friends. How many of your Facebook friends are you really, quote-unquote, friends with? How many of them do you really know?
Like 20%.
Ed Young is one of our listeners. I'm not exactly sure why he decided to do this. Hey, Ed?
Yes. Good morning, Dwyers. Good morning, Michael.
How are you, sir?
Fine, thank you.
Okay, how many Facebook friends did you have or do you have?
Yeah, just somewhere over 400.
Okay, and as you looked over them, how many of them are you really, honestly, friends with? Half?
Boy. Yeah, maybe half.
Okay, and how many of them had you never even met?
Oh, actually, gosh, I don't know. Quite a few of them, probably over half of them.
Okay, so you decided for whatever reason to set out. You're going to drive around the country and just go and meet some of the Facebook friends that you're friends with, but you've never met them face to face.
That as well as some people along the way that I have met.
Okay, so the also-rans are all you're going to visit with.
Yep.
You're going to visit with the runners-up as well. Okay,
Yep.
Why did you decide to do this?
Well, originally it was to meet somebody from my past, and that kind of went away, but I saw no real reason to cancel the trip.
Okay.
It was just a good way to experience locations and people.
Okay, it's kind of a different way to determine a vacation.
Yeah, kind of, and to put a lot of miles on my old English car.
Okay.
Which is beautiful, by the way.
So,
thanks.
How many of your Facebook friends did you on this trip? Which was how many miles?
I got home with 5,993 more miles on the car than when I left.
So almost 6,000 miles.
Yes.
And how long of a period of time?
I did it in 2 weeks.
2 weeks.
I was going to actually make a lot longer trek, which would have taken me another week or more. But I got to thinking about, I'm spending a lot of money, and property taxes are coming due, and so the Belgian side of me took over, and I came home a little early.
Okay. And how did you determine where you were going to go? Did you just throw a dart at the map and find the Facebook friend nearest where the dart landed, or how much plotting of it went into this?
It took actually quite a bit of planning. Mostly, like I said, it all had to do with me going through a certain town, Mesa, Arizona, by the way.
Okay.
And so I just looked along the route, and I knew where various people were, and I just started kind of throwing something together.
Okay. So you didn't go all the way to Mesa and then find out, oh, wait, you unfriended me?
No. I had, I don't know, a good 5 or 6 stops before I got there.
Okay.
And then I had 2 other friends in the area. One, a guy that I had worked with, and another Facebook friend who I ended up going to see an excellent Wishbone Ash concert in a bar.
Well,
okay.
That goes without saying. You don't have to say excellent and Wishbone Ash concerts.
Yeah.
All right.
It was all about food and music and visiting people. You know?
Okay, and one of the people, Gail from Denver, right?
That is correct. Yes. Gail and her husband, Michael.
All right, and you've never met them in your life, but?
Never met them, although I have met a Facebook friend or 2 in common with them. So
okay, so
but still,
that's about it.
When you go rolling up on their front lawn, you have never met these people before.
No,
All
never
right.
met them.
Well, let's. We got Gail on the phone from Colorado. Gail?
Yeah. Hi.
So he shows up, and you're like, oh, God, he's really doing it, and he's really here.
Yeah, he was. He pulled right up, and I sicked my dog Ferris Bueller right on him.
Way to go. Way to go.
What is it? He said that he knows a couple of friends that are Facebook friends of yours, but that's the only connection that you guys have. How is it that you became clicked on that, I guess I'll be friends with him, and next thing you know, he's at your doorstep? What was it?
I have no idea. I have like 1 million Facebook friends, and I probably haven't met any more than 5% of any of them.
Okay, so this isn't very uncommon then. People are showing up at your door all the time.
Oh, yeah. I could look at it that way. I guess you could say that.
So did he contact you ahead of time, or did he just ring the doorbell and, hi, I'm Ed, we're Facebook friends?
Oh, no. In fact, I knew he was going on this little tour of his.
Okay.
And I sent him a message on Facebook, and I said, hey, you're coming through Denver. You got to stop. So he did.
Okay. And do you post on his status, or do you just click the thumbs up every now and again? And little did you know, the next thing you're turning into a house for boarders from Facebook.
Well, besides the fact that my house is a border for Facebook friends, no, I regularly Photoshop some of those really great profile pictures of Ed.
Okay.
Like the ones in the bunny suits and the leisure suits, and those really fashionable, attractive shots of his on his profile pictures.
Yeah,
so that's some of my handiwork.
That's quality stuff, Gail, and I'm sure Ed appreciates it. And you got a lot of free time, don't you? But do you ever have to make a call or an email to anybody and say, hey, he seems like he's a harmless guy, but what if he's really mad about all the Photoshopped profile pictures and he's coming to get me?
It never crossed my mind.
Never crossed your mind.
We should have had this conversation 2 weeks ago then.
Because Ed's at your front door.
So
that's right.
So did you stay at Gail's house then, Ed?
Yes, I did.
All right.
I did.
And like in the garage, or what did they have?
No, they had like a apartment downstairs.
right.
They even bought me pizza for dinner, and that was really wonderful because I love pizza.
Okay, so did Gail then go to and put out, okay, heads up, there's this guy named Ed, we're all Facebook friends with him, don't answer the door, he's crazy.
Actually, after Gail, I only had one other stop before heading home.
Oh, okay. And that was with?
She was at the tail end. I went to Evergreen, Colorado, and met up with a friend that I'd known from back in the 80s when I used to go to the Mad Hatter.
Okay, so was it, was it weird? Because really, you don't really know these people, right? You're friends, and they comment and stuff on Facebook, but you don't even know their inflection. They might be not joking when they post their little comments,
Oh,
was it odd?
I don't know. It never really crossed my mind. I just have a lot of fun, and everything's all lighthearted, and
sure.
Everything worked out great.
And Gail, what did you learn about Ed that you did not already know from Facebook?
That he's much skinnier than I thought.
So you got to redo all those Photoshop things.
I do.
Yeah.
My God, yeah. He's a really thin guy.
Thin guy, scarily thin. You think he's okay? You think he's not healthy, or
I don't know. You'd think sitting around in that car for 6,000 miles that he would have put on a couple of pounds.
Now you said that you've got a ton of Facebook friends. Seriously though, have you ever had one of them that you've never met call up and say, "Hey, I'm going to be dropping by. Can I stop over?"
Actually, I hired my wedding photographer. Same way.
I think this is a great story because there's a lot of scary stuff we talk about all the time online, but it seems Ed, like you're just a hippie from, seriously,
I'm 62.
Well, you're just, you know what I mean? There's just there's a certain freedom on the road that is represented to you that a lot of the rest of us just don't get anymore.
Yeah, well, life is short, and you just never know when your last moment is going to come.
Yeah,
and so,
Ed, it could come a lot sooner if you start knocking on doors of people you don't know. It's going to come a lot sooner.
I did give everybody a pretty advance warning that I was coming, and actually, I had a lot of friends on the east side of the Mississippi. They were kind of bummed that I wasn't coming their way.
Well, that's for next summer.
Yeah,
that's kind of what I told them.
Did you have anybody change their mind?
I did have one person change their mind, yes.
All right, they backed out and said, no, I don't think so. Maybe next time.
And after not having known Gail and her husband, what did you find out about them that you didn't know from Facebook?
Actually, I just learned that they were both lovelier and nicer people than I had ever imagined.
Oh, how about that?
And that's pretty much the way I came away from everybody that I met up with. And there was one guy and his dog, Courtesy Flush and Manners, that I had known from hanging around DSLreports.com. I'd known him since probably the late 90s, and I finally met him, and he was everything that I had always figured that he was.
So in total, you stayed at or met with 11 complete strangers that were only quote-unquote friends because of Facebook.
Facebook or the other website, yes.
Facebook or the other website. Right. All right. Yeah. And in total, it was almost 6,000 miles. Somebody wants to know, what was the ratio of people paying for food versus you paying for their food?
Well, I I didn't go into it for the free food. I had hoped to buy some dinners. Most people did either cook food for me or bought me dinner. However, I did snake Gail at a place in Denver where we had lunch. She went to go get a magazine that talked about the nightlife and live music, and I took the receipt from the waitress and I bought our lunch that day. So,
Okay.
Gail.
Yes.
So you're going to do this again, but on the East Coast?
I'd like to. I guess health, finances, and car willing. Yes.
All right.
I just think that's so interesting. What a cool way to decide to do it. It takes
a certain amount of bravery, you bet. Gail, would you and your husband ever do that? Gail's already hung up. She's done with this conversation.
No, I'm here. I'm here. I didn't hear what you said. Sorry.
Would you and your husband ever consider doing that?
Maybe. I haven't talked to him about that. I'm always up for an adventure, and my husband's well aware of that. So,
Uh-oh. I don't like where this conversation is heading.
Yeah. It sounds very, it sounds really hippie. I mean, it really does. And I don't say that in a condescending way. I love it. I think it's cool that you can trust somebody just by knowing them from Facebook and saying, hey, I want to stop out and kind of get to know. I mean, I think we could all use to get to know each other a little bit better. I think it's very cool.
Oh, yeah. And that's not to say there aren't weirdos on Facebook. I've encountered at least two of them that were not at all what they think they are. Not in real life, but across Facebook, virtual.
Yeah. Okay.
And, yes. But I don't know. Ed is who he says he is. And there are ways to verify it just by chit-chatting or whatever on
right.
Facebook.
They can't
have to use your better judgment.
They can't fake everything online, right? Some of it's got to be legitimate.
Yeah, exactly.
All right. Well, there you go. If you're looking for a unique way to plan a vacation, go through your Facebook friends list, find the ones you've never met, and then say, hey, I'm dropping over. How's Saturday look? How's the weather?
You'll be glad you did if you do it.
All right. Gail, we're going to let you go because we got one other. This is somebody that he had never met before. So, Gail, good talking to you. Thanks so much.
Bye, dear.
Oh, you're very welcome. Thanks. Bye, Ed.
All right. So there's Gail.
Wow.
Now, here is Cindy you're in San Francisco? Cindy?
That's correct.
Okay.
Yes.
You had never met Ed before.
Never.
How did you get on his Facebook friend list? That one click, and the next thing you know, he's at your front door.
Not quite at my front door.
Okay. You met him?
In the neighborhood from mutual friends.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, but you didn't want to give him your address. You set it up in a safe, neutral location.
No. I wasn't insinuating that at all.
Oh, okay.
He and I have about 30 mutual friends right now.
Okay.
All of them who I've met on Facebook.
And never in person until Ed.
Well, no, Ed is not my first. Sorry, Ed. I've met about 6 other people.
Oh, okay. So this is going on behind his back? He comes all the way out to California? So you've had other people do the same thing. Now, have you done what Ed did? Set out on the road to meet Facebook friends that you've never met?
No, I haven't, but I've arranged group meetings when I fly back to New York.
You've arranged group meetings?
Yes.
What does that mean?
That means...
Is that code for something?
When I was visiting New York, I contacted all the Facebook friends that I had in New York that I had never met.
Okay.
The spot, and there you go.
Okay, so it's sort of like if you get on some forum or a website for a band, let's say, hey, we're all going to be meeting up before the concert, all you people who post here, let's get together for dinner beforehand, sort of that sort of thing.
Exactly.
Okay, but you've never gone like Ed door to door, like.
No, I think I reached out to Ed.
All right. Well, thanks for chatting with us, Cindy. Ed, like Dwyer said, it's certainly an interesting way to plot out a trip. And heads up to all your East Coast friends. It sounds like he's going to pull this off again.
I hope to.
All right. Thanks for sharing your stories with us, you guys.
Well, thank you. Thanks. It's been a pleasure.
All right. See ya.
Bye, guys.
Okay,
Bye.
Bye.